Okay, Asia session done. In Asia, I look at gold, Nikkei, and the Asia Forex pairs. So 7 a.m. Tokyo market open in Jakarta. About 20 minutes before that, I'm flipping through the Asia Forex pairs looking for signal days. We have quite a few on the yen pairs. It's a trend continuation signal day. That's when monthly, weekly, daily breakout levels are all pushing in one direction, and yesterday closed as a breakout day. So the idea for this one is we have a hard time frame trend pushing in one direction, and I'm looking to enter at the high of the day, take it down to the previous day low, take partials there, and hold my runners for a trend continuation. So the other signal day I have is this one, the green one's pullback continuation signal day. Same sort of idea. We have monthly, weekly, and beginning of the day, the daily breakout level were all bearish. And yesterday closed as a fake out day, faking out that previous day high. So the idea for this is we have a hard time frame trend pushing in one direction. Then we have a pullback, faking out a previous high, and that creates a swing point. And I'm looking to trade this from the high of the day down to the previous day low for TP1, and then low of the structure for TP2. So we got a couple of those. And then the last signal day is this range fake out day. We have an inside bar here. Inside bars extend the previous bar's highs and lows, and that becomes a range. Fake out days fake out one side of the range, and I'm looking to take a high of the day sell down to the opposite side of the range. So once I mark off my signal days, I put them all in a couple of charts, and I'm looking to reduce the number of pairs I'm looking at. These are all the yen pairs. On here, I have the other Forex pairs. So on Forex, I'm looking to trade the trend retracement setup, previous H8 fake out, peak of the days. Previous day's peak is untriggered and going in the direction of the day breakout level. Coming into the session, I see that CAD yen has faked out the previous H8 high, and none of the other yen pairs have faked out the H8 high. CAD yen was the only one that faked out the H8 high, so that means that I would rather focus on CAD yen. Only problem is CAD yen is also the only pair that did not have a signal day on the yen pairs, but because all the other pairs had a signal day, I was okay taking CAD yen because often they will move in the same manner. The other thing about my signal days is the signal days are basically just telling me that we have high probability setups on this. That means that all the criteria I'm looking at are satisfied on all these pairs, but that does not mean that the other pairs are not tradable. It just means that if I'm looking at a bunch of pairs, I only want to focus, I'd rather focus on the ones that have signal days because it means that everything I'm looking for to take a trade is satisfied in those. But because CAD yen faked out the H8 high and all the other yen pairs were moving in the same way, I was okay taking CAD yen. So the way I entered on CAD yen, no signal day, as I said, but we have hard time frames all pushing in one direction, weekly, daily, H8, H4, everything bearish basically. 7 a.m. Tokyo market open, faked out the H8 high, entered on the 5-minute on this one. We faked out the H4 highs up here, H8 high as well. Let this load. H4 and H8 high got faked out here. The last M5 bullish breakout bar got taken out by a bearish breakout bar, and it also closed below the M15 low, flipping the M15 bearish breakout to the downside. So once I saw that, I entered straight off the M5, taking it down to the previous day low for TP1. Took partials here, about 2R, and then now I'm holding my runners for the trend continuation. And I'll be trying to hold them as long as I can. Yep, so that's a trend retracement setup. Did not trigger the previous day low, so it was still okay. Faking out the H8 high at the high of the day and took a trend retracement setup on CAD yen. And that was the only trade I took. Did not take anything else. So the other pairs, I'll talk about why I didn't take the other ones. So these were the other signal days. I got 4 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. NZD CAD, I was looking for, what was this? A pullback continuation signal day, but it already broke out below H8 low, was a previous day low, so I was not interested in that. GBP NZD, I was looking for a low of the day buy, but instead it went up. Was not interested in that, so those two were immediately out. And then I did focus on Aussie USD and NZD USD. Coming into my session, Aussie USD faked out the H4 low, H4 high. So I like that, but I did not like that it was 45 minutes before the new H4 bar. So instead of taking a aggressive entry like this, I waited until the new H4 bar had an alert set up above the highs to trigger that H4 bar, but instead came back down because what I was waiting for was a pull back up here to take it down, but instead it broke out and then came back up and never came back down. Once it got above the H8 high, I was interested again. Um, as long as we stay below this fake out level and get below the H8 level, which it never did. So no trades on AU. And same sort of deal with NZD USD. We have a H4 fake out right here, and was looking for. Didn't like that in the beginning. I prefer an H8 fake out. It was just 1 hour before the new H4, so I'd rather wait for the new H4 to start. Once the new H4 opened up, I was interested to take this down because it actually broke below the H1 low right here, turning the H1 to a bearish breakout. But I opted not to do that. I didn't want to be so aggressive in Asia, so did not take that trade. I would have targeted the previous day low, but there's a breakout level right here, the daily breakout level here, so I would have gone break even at this point if I did take that, and I probably would have got break even if I took that, but I did not take that. Instead, same thing like AU. I was waiting for a fake out of the H4, did not do that, and after that, it broke out a bit too high for me. Faked out the H8 right here, but I was already off my session at this time. So I'm usually off at 11. This is 11:30. I would have entered on this one. This to me is an entry for me, right at that H8 breakout level. Here's the last one, so I have to be careful how price behaves there. And we also broke out above the H4, so H4 is in breakout here, but I would be okay taking this because the H1 got faked out, I think somewhere here. So if we're if we're in a higher time frame breakout on the H4, I need a lower time frame fake out in order to take this down. It did fake out the H1 here, so this would have been an entry for me, but I just wasn't watching it at this time. It was already off my session. So no trades for me on NZD USD. I only took CAD yen. So that was it on the forex pairs. AU never set up. NU did set up, but not during my session, so I did not take that. And then after that, forex pairs. I mean, my core pairs, gold and Nikkei. I'm bullish on gold, obviously, because it's been this incredible bullish run. Got a fake out set up here to a reversal, but the H1 level I think was somewhere here. Never got below that H1 breakout level. Did not want to take an aggressive entry in Asia, so I did not take that. Once I got, let me go to the gold one. Once I got the M15 fake out here, I was interested again to take a possible reversal trade on gold. The first one I didn't want to take, but when I got a second signal, then I thought about it again. The only problem is the H1. The H1 at the time looked really good, actually. It looked like it was going to fake out the previous day high, but this was 15 minutes before the new H1 bar. Waited until the new H1 bar opened up, and it opened up in breakout. So was not interested to take gold, and that was it. I've said before, I'm not comfortable taking breakouts on gold at all-time highs, so I'm still waiting for a deeper pullback in order to take this up. But we'll see if that ever plays out. So no trades on gold, and then Nikkei. Nikkei, I was bearish on Nikkei. We have an inside bar, and we have top of the range here. Faked out the range a couple days back, and faked out it again yesterday. So I wanted to take this down. Only problem is we have an H1 inside bar here that extends the range, and I was looking for a push up above this range, and it never did that. Didn't get up high enough for me to take it. Did fake out the H4 high right here, but I didn't want to trade right into the fake out level. It was too close for me. So I skipped this one, did not take this trade. If it had gone up and faked out at that H1 range, I definitely would have taken it, but it did not do that. So skipped this trade. Let me see if I had enough room anyways. Down a previous day high. It's a bit short for me. I think, yeah, no trade for me on this one. Also did not fake the H1. Yeah, so no trades for me on Nikkei. Moved nicely, but wasn't a setup for me. And that's all. I took one trade on CAD yen. Still have runners on this one. Would have taken NZD USD, but it was I was already off at 11, so did not take this one. And AU never set up, and the rest had no setups on those. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. So that's why I took CAD yen. CAD yen was the only one that faked out H8 high, and so that's all. So now waiting for London.